find a life. At the party, ignored by the brass, I start getting to know the ordinary NBC office workers in sales and marketing and affiliate relations that I'll be working with, and I find they have all seen the pilot in internal screenings and they love it. They get it. They have their own Michael Scotts to deal with, and they give me reassurance that we're not crazy. This show is special and deserves its break. I wait in line to thank Jeff Zucker for the 5 episodes. He pulls me in for a quick handshake before moving on to someone else, muttering only, "Okay, Greg, I'm giving you a chance. Don't fuck it up." Are you still reading? If so, you must have an interest in backstage stories about our show. Or else, maybe you're in a bookstore, pretending to be fascinated, while secretly glancing over the top of the page at your office crush who you convinced to walk to the mall with you. Either way works for me. I have a lot of backstage stories about The Office, beginning in 2002 when my agent sent me Season 1 of the Brilliant British Show on VHS tape to consider adapting, and going through turning in the final cut of our series finale, which reunited the team with our adored number 1, Steve Carell. As the showrunner for most of the run, I selected which stories we told from hundreds of ideas pitched, which scenes or lines made it into the script, and which actor improvs or moments filmed made it into the cuts. That means my brain is stuffed with all the false starts, weird clunkers, and paths not traveled. I think one of Michael Scott's funniest talking heads was a long rant about his shower curtain and a novelty gift bull penis that he uses to hold his shampoo. That never made it out of the writer's room for good reason, but we laughed for hours in Season 2, wording it every which way. Working on the show was fun, which you would hope would be the case making any TV comedy, but often isn't. To guide us with tone, I wrote 3 words on index cards and taped them to my computer. Original, funny, poignant. The famous Netflix algorithm has 3 different words for the show: witty, sitcom, comedy, which is basically saying funny, funny, funny. Good job, robot. When I think about our cast and crew, the words that come to mind are talent, passion, love. They had mad skills, they cared deeply about every detail, and they supported each other. I made 2 early decisions that contributed to the behind-the-scenes spirit of the show. The first was blurring the lines between people's jobs. Writers acted, actors wrote, editors directed. I asked the accountants their opinions on the edits, and I listened to story feedback from prop master Phil Shea or set painter Shelley Adagian. The second was finding a tiny lot for us in the middle of nowhere instead of renting stages at a Hollywood studio with a lot of other shows. I mostly wanted a real building and parking lot to shoot exterior scenes, but the best part turned out to be that every day of production, the cast and crew ate lunch together. Over the years, over many wonderful meals from our caterer mensch Sergio Giacoman, we bonded into a strong team. Maybe, if I can say it without sounding too much like a deluded Michael Scott, a family. Steve was the dad who went to work every day and provided for us, brought home the bacon with his unique talent, and was the moral center, the pillar of integrity. I was the stay-at-home dad, raising the kids, or writers, and running things behind the scenes. One nice thing about my partnership with Steve was that we were the same age and had come up in similar worlds. While most of the cast and writing staff were younger and hipper, our references and instincts worked great for Michael, like the late 80s SNL sketches we remembered verbatim that made the others scratch their heads. Steve accessed his humanity to make Michael a lovable character despite his flaws. I gave the writers ideas for Michael's stupidity just by being their boss. Like the time Mindy was depressed about a relationship breaking up, and I asked to hold her cell phone and pretended to call her ex as a joke. Halfway through, I blundered and connected, and then panicked and hung up as she watched in mounting horror. No wonder she could write Pam so well. Many times, the real experiences we had in our production office went straight into the show. Jen Salata made a game out of the bouncing DVD icon screensaver on a TV. Boom, cold open. That's how a writer's room is supposed to work. But sometimes it's more random. Staff writer Caroline Williams was anxious that her grandmother was going to watch her first episode, Phyllis's Wedding, so to tease her during the rewrite, we pretended to put in a fart joke. But fart jokes are powerful magic, and as writers will, we fell in love with it, and pretty soon the joke had put down roots and couldn't be dislodged. Sorry, Granny Williams. Once we even put in stuff that made no sense whatsoever, as when BJ and Mike Schur had an intense conflict in the room over a long-sleeve T-shirt. It is memorialized on screen by Ryan asking, "Will I be too warm in a long-sleeve tee?" in the episode Safety Training. This line